The McKinsey Global Institute did a study where they identified in America there had been 9 recessions since World War II. So the economy hit bottom and then rebounded to hit the prior peak economically. And then there's always a lag between when the economy and the economics of the recovery hit the prior peak. And then there's a lag for when the employment hits that prior peak. And as you can see here, for the first 6 of the 9 recessions, it took about 6 months on average to get to the prior employment peak. But we had a recession in the early 90s where it took our economy 15 months to get to the employment peak. And then 2001, 2002, it took us 39 months to get to the prior peak. And when they did the study, we didn't know the answer in the current recovery, and we still don't know the answer because in America it's taken us 70 months and we're still nowhere near the prior peak of employment. And there clearly is something that's gone wrong in our economy. We have, as we've described there, jobless recoveries. And that wasn't the case 20 and 30 years ago. And so this is my sense for what's going on. There are 3 types of innovations in the world. And the reason why in my puzzling of this question I'm focusing on innovation is the target of investment. And investment is the fuel that keeps the economy going in one way or another. So the first type of investment we call an empowering innovation. And what we mean by an empowering innovation is it transforms products that are simple and affordable from things that previously were complicated and expensive. And you'll see here that I have 3 concentric circles, and what they're made to represent, the centermost circle, those are customers in a market that have the most money. And then as you come to larger circles, they represent larger populations of people who have less money and less skill. And a good example of this kind of empowering innovation would be the mainframe computer. The mainframes cost $2 million. Not very many people could have a computer. And then the personal computer reduced the cost from $2 million to $2,000. And so most of us could own and use a computer. And now the smartphone for $200 enables billions of people around the world to have a computer. And in a similar way, when the automobile was developed, originally they were a toy of the rich. But Henry Ford and the Model T made a car so affordable and accessible that millions and millions of people can have it. From our study, I will assert that nearly all of the jobs in an economy are created by empowering innovations. And the reason is very simple. If you make it affordable and accessible, more people buy them, more people use them. You have to hire people to make them and distribute them and sell them and service them and so on. Empowering innovations use capital because anytime you start a new business, you need capital on the balance sheet. But this is the first type of innovation for the purpose of the issue tonight. Then the second type of innovation we call sustaining innovations. And sustaining innovations make good products better. And when you just look at the world, most of the innovations that we see are sustaining innovations that make good products better. They have a different effect on the economy, however, in that sustaining innovations create few, if any, jobs. And they're kind of a neutral as it relates to capital. And the reason why sustaining innovations don't create a lot of jobs is when you sell a better product, the customer, they don't buy the old product. Toyota developed a marvelous hybrid car called a Prius, but whenever they successfully sell a Prius, they don't sell a Camry. And by their very nature, sustaining innovations are replacative in character, and that's why they don't create a lot of jobs. And then the third type of innovation we call efficiency innovations. Efficiency innovations allow you to make the same products at lower prices to sell to the same customers. So in America, we have a beautiful online insurance company called Geico. Same products, 15% lower price. Walmart is an efficiency innovation. They can sell the same products to the same customers at 15% lower prices. And efficiency innovations also are very critical to the economy. If we don't have them, then whole economies would be blown out of the water. But they reduce jobs by their very nature. So in America, over and over again, you see this. If Walmart is going into a town, as they build their store, they hire a lot of people. But in aggregate, generally, there are about 15% fewer jobs in that area in retailing when they have done their work. But interestingly, efficiency innovations free capital. And what I mean by that, by illustration, is before Toyota came to America, it took the American car companies about 60 days to assemble a car. And as the car crawled through this plant, there had to be a lot of work-in-process inventory on the balance sheet to support that process. Toyota figured out how to assemble a car in 2.5 days. And because it zipped through the process, they didn't need to have nearly as much work-in-process inventory on the balance sheet. And it essentially took capital that had been imprisoned on the balance sheet, and it freed it up to do remarkable things. And so it's kind of a neat, almost like a perpetual motion machine. As long as we create more jobs through empowering innovations, then efficiency innovations reduce. And as long as the capital that's created by efficiency innovations create enough capital to fund empowering innovations, it just keeps going and going. And in fact, in America, for the first 6 recessions, this seems to work well. And just almost like clockwork, reset itself. But then something has gone wrong. And my sense of what's gone wrong is right here. Finance has cut this circle and created a system where there's a beginning and an end, essentially. And really what finance is causing us to do is take efficiency innovations and reinvest in efficiency innovations over time.